Hello, Georgina Robinson here again with Michael Gleeson. We've just come back from yet another epic night at the track, the final night at the track. It's been a pretty special week. What was the highlight tonight if you had to pick one?
Well, if you had to pick one, Mo Farah. Again, Mo Farah winning a double in front of the home crowd and, in a weird way, hearing, a whole stadium of Englishmen chanting for a guy called Mohammed to win a second gold was a fantastic night. And it was such an incredible run, to surge from behind and take hold, and then you're thinking that he's going to get run down, but he held on. And of course, aside from that, Bolt just putting the icing on the cake. Look, the Jamaican team winning the relay is a bit, it's a fairly predictable sort of outcome. It's a bit like, an egg and spoon race. As long as they don't drop the egg, they're going to win. And that's what occurred. They won it in a world record time. So,
and one of the really lovely things I thought was when Bolt came over the line in that relay, he did the M, the trademark Mo Farah M, in a nod to, a real mark of respect.
That's right. And at the end of the night, they're hugging each other, and it was a real love in there. But he actually did have that great sort of respect between the two of them. So that was certainly for me the moment of the night. But from an Australian perspective, the moment was probably away from the track with Jared Talent. And down on the road walking, it was a really good effort. I know he came from behind. He interestingly enough, he paced himself. He sat back. In Daegu last year, he blew up. He had the chance to go. He was in the silver position, and he thought, do I go for gold or do I safeguard silver? He went for gold, and he ended up getting bronze. This time he left his well, not his run, but he left his push, his brisk walk until later. And really, he was deep in the field, well, not deep-ish in the field. He was back behind the pack, but he pushed up at the 35 to 40k mark and took hold. And his last 10 kilometres were really sharp. And for most of that, he'd been running. He got 2 red cards early in the walk, and he said he was rattled by that, and it made him really self-conscious of how he was walking. And for about 10 Ks, he was more focused on how he was walking than the pace he was walking. Jared pulled two minutes from his best time. He can't be unhappy with his own performance, because that's a big effort.
Yeah, it is. It is. Look, the only other event that we have left in the track and field schedule.
I will interrupt and say the only other one I should have mentioned was the Australian 4x1.
Of course.
Which, let's not just confuse it with overshadow it with Bolt and the Jamaicans. It was a good run. Australia making the final. Look, they ended up in 7th place, which of its own sounds like a poor finish. It wasn't a poor finish. They finished with a cluster of teams. There was a nipple between each of them to get across the line. So they ran really well. And again, Josh Ross ran particularly well. They came home in a really strong time after breaking the Australian national record for the relay the night before. So Ross again suggested that he could have been deserving and probably should have run the individual on his own.
Well, back to the marathon. That's the final event. And we've got 3 guys in it, don't we? Yeah,
we do. But it's a bit like making the Jamaican relay team. If you're a Kenyan or an Ethiopian, you're sort of getting yourself onto a podium. The top 29 times in the world are held by either a Kenyan or an Ethiopian. Not to sort of put a dampener on what's available for Australia, but to take some effort to get into that sort of top podium finish. But you never know.
It's good they're having a crack.
Yeah, of course they are. And it rounds out what has been a spectacular Olympic Games. It has genuinely been.
The track and field, you mean?
Track and field, the athletics has been superb. 4 Olympic records, 4 world records. Sorry, we've had Alison Felix again. She's won 3 golds here. Usain Bolt 3 golds again. The triple, the double triple. Mo Farah with the double, started with the heptathlon with Jessica Ennis, and then of course from an Australian perspective, Sally Pearson. Yeah. So
it's an embarrassment of riches.
Well, the international male and female athletes of the year last year, Bolt and Pearson, both coming through and winning. So, what was
your personal favourite, Australian or otherwise?
Australian or otherwise, my personal favourite, hard to split between Rhodesia and Mo Farah. Both Mo Farah runs, and Mo Farah probably takes it just because of the hometown factor that it was you found yourself, perversely cheering for a Pom, and riding it home. He was just spectacular, and you got caught up in this hometown wave to bring him home. So that was just incredible.
It was a really stunning campaign. Thanks for logging on. This caps the track and field videos, but tune into the blog for the marathon updates. See you later.